This video is sponsored by Into the AM.
Hello, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Peachy.
And today we're doing Pro versus Noob 30-minute painting challenge.
I'm excited. I've not done one of these yet, and I've been looking forward to doing one. And we're getting to paint some of the Termagants from Leviathan. So I've got experience in painting many, many Tyranids. Have you?
No!
Car crash, inevitable.
Right, who's going first?
Okay. Are we doing rock, paper, scissors?
Rock, paper, scissors, 1, 2, 3, show.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, show.
Damn! You're going first. Smash my scissors.
Damn, I'm going first.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine. You'll be fine. All you're doing is applying paint to a mini.
Mummy. Well, hello everyone. It's been a while, especially me painting on camera. I'm going up against Peachy, who has 20 years of painting experience, has painted Tyranids before, and knows what he's doing. So I think my plan of action for this is, instead of me doing the work, I'm going to try and select paints that will do the hard work for me. So Dirty Down Rust, I'm going to use a lot of that. I'm going to try and use some wet ground, some corrosion texture to try and make some kind of muddy, rusty, metallic Tyranids, maybe. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm just going to try a load of washes for the body and the gun, and then if I get that far, I'm just going to panic and see what happens. So I'm going to start from a white undercoat. I think I'm going to base it very quickly because I'm going to be breaking out the hairdryer a lot in these 30 minutes. So if I can get the base on, then that will dry pretty quick. I might even flex and put tufts on as well, but who knows. I'm going to use some Vallejo Air Metallics because the coverage is really good and speed is of the essence here. And then I'm going to slather it in Dirty Down Rust, try and give it a quick dry brush, have a go at putting some corrosion texture on there as well. I don't think I'll have time to put any like pigments or anything over top. The rest of the body, I haven't really thought about that much. I'm going to use some of these new AK deep shades, so the body's going to be purple, and then we will see what happens. Just before we get into the painting, you may have noticed that Peachy and I look additionally stylish, perhaps a bit more than usual. And that's because this video has been sponsored by Into the AM. Into the AM makes some awesome tees with some really cool designs. If you're looking to replace some of your wardrobe, you could go for the everyday basic tee that I'm wearing here. Calling them basic is a bit of a disservice, if I'm honest. The cut's great, loads of choice of colours, and they're really comfortable. Easily the best t-shirts I own. I went for this orange and a black version as well. And if you're looking to make a bit more of a statement, they have a huge range of graphic tees as well. We've got astronauts, we've got lions, we've got squids. There's loads of cool designs to choose from, and they have the same quality, cut, feel as the basic tees as well. I could keep rambling about these. I actually do really enjoy wearing them, so thank you very much for Into the AM for sponsoring this video. You'll find a link down below in the description and the top comment, and with our discount code you can get 10% off any Into the AM products, so please do check that out if you'd like some awesome t-shirts. Now it's back to the stress and panic, and I'm going to try and paint a Tyranid in 30 minutes. So hello, it's VoiceOver Patrick here, and VoiceOver Patrick is quite disappointed with Painting Patrick because he went into this with no plan whatsoever, and it's now making my job really hard. Did I put the base on first, or did I do the metallic first? I can't remember. Let's have a look at what's on the screen now. Ooh, isn't it great? Okay, so some rust went on at some stage. I've seen Peachy do this a lot. Watering it down and diluting it is really good, and then putting on some neat patches for like a really deep rust effect seems to work pretty well. And then smash it with a hairdryer and it brings out all of that cool rust texture. And if you don't like it, just water it down a bit and then you can reactivate it and then dry it again, and you can get a slightly different effect, and you can just keep working it until you get what you like. We're in a bit of a rush here, so I'm just gonna crack on. Do I like it? I don't know. And then for the body, I was using Invocation Purple, which is one of these new deep shades from AK Interactive. What I should have done is channel my inner Duncan Rhodes and apply this in two thin coats, but classic me, I panicked and just gloops it on. There is a bit of obscured detail over the model, but, you know, needs must. It was at this stage that the real panic set in, because what little plan that I did have was now finished. Everything was rusty, and that looked good. The base was on, and then the body was just like a big mass of purple. So I put some black shade over the gun, probably a bit too much. Again, the panic was setting in. And then I stole an idea from Peachy and did the eyes yellow and put some yellow in the gun as well. And because I was a bit enthusiastic with the shade, one of the eyes kind of looks okay, and then the other one I just had to kind of guess where it was and draw a big circle. I put some alien tufts on and then put some corrosion texture on towards the end. I even got time to rim the base. That was pretty cool. Oh, and then the tongue I did in cork as well, because that's Peachy's favourite skin tone, so I just stole that. But yeah, my plan was to not really have much of a plan and just have the paints do the work for me. So if this looks good, it's on the talent in a bottle and not on this numpty sat right here.
This is exciting. A 30-minute challenge, not done this before with Pat, so I'm eager to see how this pans out. I am going to go with an old tried and tested colour scheme that I once did back in my early days of retail, where it was a black colour scheme with grey carapace, quite quick, did it over a weekend. So I'm going to do that because I think that will work. So black undercoat, nice and easy, lots of dry brushing, mostly going to be dry brush, just a big fat brush, just going over lots of colours. And then a nice bit of striking detail like yellow markings. Previously on the old schemes I never had any guns, so I've got a gun to contend with here, so I might use a fleshy tone like cork. I'm quite a fan of that. And then it's the old basin of snow, dark model, very black, grey, and then yeah, a nice white bright base, probably like little bits of blood from poor guardsmen that have been torn to pieces. But 30 minutes, yeah, I'm gonna smash Pat into the ground. That's what I'm gonna do. He's not gonna know what hit him. High Fleet Abyssal is what's going to hit him hard, and yeah, right in the jacksy. So the plan is to start with Chaos Black as an undercoat, then I'm going to heavily dry brush over with Rubber Black. After that, I'm going to get some Ash Grey, just so it's nice and lighter, and I'm going to do that all over. A bit more heavy on the carapace. Then I'm going to use some Granite, mostly for the carapace. And then I need a nice sort of fleshy tone for the gun, so for that I'm probably going to use cork, because cork, I like cork. Then for the yellow, nice striking tone for the yellow. So I'm thinking potentially deep yellow. No, maybe volcanic yellow. No, deep yellow, because it's an intense paint, it's got better pigment. Yeah, deep yellow. And then I'll use some of the new deep shade as well, just to run into the recesses of some of that black detail, just darken it down a tad. And then some snow, just average snow, and some flesh tearers for blood. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, brown rims. Definitely brown rims. Steel Legion drab all the way. So I'm just going to start off by dry brushing quite heavily with Rubber Black. You're not probably going to notice that much difference here because it's black over black, but it's just going to make it a bit more matte, and it's slightly lighter than black. Then I'm going to do the same with Ash Grey. You're going to see a bit more of a punch here, and I'm going to do that over the carapace and the arms and body, but a little bit heavier on the skin and probably on the carapace as well. And then I'm going to use some graphite. Now, graphite I'm going to do quite softly over the body, but for the actual carapace, I'll do a little bit heavier as well, so it stands out a bit more. And I'm well aware now that I've done this, that I'm going to have to paint and dry brush the cork onto the gun, and I'm going to go over that grey. So here we go, dry brush up with some cork, and knowing full well I'm going to go over that grey, so I have to tidy that back up, that's fine. And I've gone over some of the hands, that's also fine, I can tidy those back up as well. I'm going to use some of the new deep shade, which is like called Black Night, it's mega. So I'm going to apply that all over the black sections, and I'll go over the gun as well, I think, for that. And then for all the yellow things, I'm going to be using, or the yellow markings, I'm using deep yellow. Now it's an intense colour, but I'm going to thin it down a bit. It'll go a bit weird start off, it might have a bit of a greeniness to it, but as I build up the layers, there'll be more punch and more yellow, and that's kind of what I want. Start off quite dark and grimy, and then get a bit more punchy with those later layers of yellow for the markings, and of course do the eyes because they look cool. So yeah, for the snow I'm going to apply that all over, and as it's wet, whilst it's still wet, what I want to do is get some flesh tearers, and then as that dries it will bleed into the snow, so it looks like, you know, fresh blood drops and stuff because some poor horrible Cadian's just been torn to pieces. And last up, just rim it in brown for the win. Steel Lead and Drab. Hashtag Steel Lead and Drab.
Welcome back. Our t-shirts have changed, and that shows the passage of time.
My hair has grown ever so slightly.
Amazing. Right, I went first. Shall I go first?
Yes, let's have a deep down review of your mini.
Okay. With the sheer amount of panic I faced, I'm actually kind of all right with it.
Yeah.
The Dirty Down Rust I've done before, and I know it works, and that is kind of like the main sort of focus of it. And I'm quite chuffed with it. The rest of it, like the purple shade, etc., it is very like monotone. Like if I had more time or planned appropriately, I probably would have put something a bit darker in the deeper recesses, or like change the colours of it a little bit. I think it is all quite monotone in a way. And yeah, the shade, especially on the gun, I've just like really slathered it on. I haven't used those shades before. Probably a bad idea on reflection to use them in anger.
Use them in anger.
Without having used them before. But I think the results are great. Hammered it with a hairdryer, so there's a bit of cracking on like the deeper sort of pooled areas.
Great tactic, by the way, doing the basing first because of knowing that you'd be doing lots of hair drying.
Yes.
Proud dad moment.
Yeah, I'm quite chuffed with that. But yeah, I think the rust is the main standout bit. I did want to go for a scheme that the paint would do the heavy lifting for me, and I think I've achieved that.
Yeah.
From afar, compared to yours stand out way more. Like the black, the white, and the yellow, I think works really well. Whereas mine's sort of like a bit of a dark brown mess. But
looks grimy.
Yeah. Grim dark, innit? I meant to do
dark,
that. Yeah, meant to do that.
Apart from the tufts, less grim dark, more alien world.
Yes.
Timing
wise, I was right up to the bell. So, yeah.
If I was to make one suggestion, and that would have been a order. I know. I would have, in hindsight, great. This is your test model. As a hindsight thing, what you could do is do the purple wash all over first, be really messy with it, and then you could do like a subtle dry brush as a highlight after.
Yeah.
And then do your gold, and then do your dirty down. Because then you don't have to be so sort of precious about the skin because that's already been highlighted. Not that there's anything wrong. You got plenty of definition there.
There is some like highlights. In from the shade going on. Yeah, maybe if I thinned it down, it would have been a bit better. Yeah. But who knows?
Yeah,
not me because I'm not doing that again.
Mine. So Highfly Abyssal is what I'm going to call them.
Yeah.
And the heavy lifter here is the yellow markings, which was always going to be the plan.
Yeah.
That's why I used them in the past. Originally, I did gloss them. I basically sprayed them black, and then I glossed the black, and then did all the grey carapace, which was just so I can get them done really quick over a weekend. Whereas I chose not to gloss the black, so there's not that much definition on the black, and the bridge between the grey carapace and the black could be a bit better.
Yeah,
a bit more of a highlight. Maybe I'd do like either granite or a slightly lighter tone as a final dry brush or whatever. But yeah, never did any guns. So the cork, I'm happy enough with the cork. Maybe I could have tried a different flesh. Again, that's the point of doing a test model. But yellow eyes work quite well. And the yellow markings, again, the thing with the markings I find is like, don't think about it. And that's kind of the best way to do markings. If you start overly thinking, then it becomes too well placed and too unnatural. Whereas when you're a bit more chaotic and casual, it feels a bit more natural because nature abhors order. Apparently, that's what I've heard.
Fascinating.
Thanks, Brian Cox. But yeah, then of course like the white base because it's really dark, so you need something to punch out. I mean, actually, a sandy base would work quite well.
And the blood works.
The blood, yeah. I mean, instead of grass tufts, I went for splats of blood.
Yeah.
And maybe I could do some yellow snow in places as well for some of those.
The guardsmen that really let loose. Yeah.
They didn't let loose hell. They let loose the bowels of hell. But yeah, I'm pleased with the 30 minutes. Came under by like, 2 minutes, something like that. So could spend more time on the black. But
yeah.
Well, yeah, for 30 minutes though. I mean, you could get like a whole host of those guys done. And I did procrastinate a bit when I was doing mine.
Yeah.
Because I kept going back and then, I'll do this bit and I'll touch up that bit a bit more. And
I think you got to an almost finished stage with like 10 minutes left to go.
yeah. And I just fannied around a bit.
Yeah. If I had to sum mine up in like a sentence, the further it is away from me, the less I like it. I think when it's close and you see the texture and the dry brush and the rust and everything, it looks okay. Maybe I should have gone with a lighter skin.
Which is why I reckon doing the purple all over, doing like almost like grey cere or something like that as a dry brush, you'd get that subtle grey pink tone, which would work better at a distance as well as up close. But I like the purple. Purple and orange look quite nice together. Sticking the yellow in there works really well. So cracking job.
I don't know if we've never had a rating system before.
I'm going to rate mine as. Shall we rate our own or each other's?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm going to rate my own.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to rate mine 5 rippers out of 10 because it's for speed as opposed to for quality.
Yes. I'm going to write mine. Write mine.
Words fail him today. You can write it if you want to.
Yeah.
Send it in the postcard and everyone will
I'm
get
going to write mine a strongly worded letter because it needs more definition in the skin. There we go. Done.
Nice. No rating system at all from Pat. I like it. Just staying well away from rating it. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Well, as always, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. And if you want more speed painting tips and stuff, keep checking out the channel. And thank you to the patrons who have watched this. I've enjoyed doing some speed painting. I want to do more of these. These are great.
It is good fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think a bit of panic, half an hour every other week, I think is it's just what the soul needs.
It's healthy stress.
Yes.
Healthy stress.
Yes. Yeah. I don't lose sleep over this. It's fun.
I lose hair over it.